Bubba. What is up? It is number 10. We are finally here. We're back.
Live on the air, streaming nowhere, because that's not what we do.
Yep, we do post effects, edits, we do
those
splicing,
those waveforms,
dude, waveform correction, dude,
visual graphics,
paramedic equalizer, dude. We got all of those.
Paramedic equalizer. That sounds like an awful punk band. So we're here. It's live.
It's lit.
Yep.
Today we are going to be talking about the game that I finally got to finish playing with the Bubby.
Yeah.
A masterpiece of a game. That is, of course, Super Mario Odyssey. Garrett, you had some time to play before. What were your initial thoughts before I played?
Gameplay wise, it felt great, and there weren't any awkward jump mechanics, which, I mean, you would probably assume that, they've been doing this for a long time, they're gonna get the jump mechanics down right.
Yeah.
But yeah, and also it was just, graphically, too.
Mm-hmm.
The level design and everything was just, so engaging, and it made you want to explore more and find those moons.
Yeah, and I would totally agree. I played, obviously, after Garrett had a chance to play, but, yeah, I just thought on a gameplay level and, a visual level, everything was just incredible about the game. The level design and the different characters and the way that they incorporated your hat being able to actually take over enemies, I think is one of the most, creative ways that a Mario game has even ever, showed or, allowed you to play. I also love, because I love shiny things, because, I'm very particular. I also love how you could change the outfits of Mario. I think they had a lot of creative opportunity there, and they didn't disappoint. There's a wide range of things. Especially love how you can get the Super Mario 64 near the end of the game once you beat it. What was your if you had to pick a favorite world, favorite area to play in? What do you think was the game's strongest area?
I'd say, a lot of people, New Donk City was really good.
Mm-hmm. I think I'd have to agree. That area in particular is just crazy with the amount of actual, area there is to explore and different things, which is, I think, the game's biggest strong point is that there's just when you think you can run through and just play it and get enough moons the first time when you're playing through the game, and then you go back and check, and actually you have 60 more to get. It's where even?
Yeah.
Where are these things? Soundtrack-wise, what do you think compared to other games? I'll be honest. I think the soundtrack to me, off the top of my head, I don't really remember. There aren't really as many soundtracks or tracks that stick out to me, without having the game in front of me. But I didn't ever have a feeling where I felt like anyone was particularly bad or out of place.
Yeah, I mean, sometimes you just gotta let your power shine, and welcome to the Odyssey.
Yeah.
That's
Odyssey. That one, okay, that was one I definitely actually do remember. That one was pretty good. Oh, gameplay-wise, this was probably almost Mario's, the most ambitious gameplay Mario game. I think the general hat effect and the hat itself, I think, is also such a well-designed mechanic, just in the way that you can use it to jump farther and then hit enemies and take over enemies. It's just especially movement wise, the ability to do these different technical jumps and things with hats, it gives our Odyssey such a high skill ceiling for speed running and that sort of things, which is really impressive to watch someone who's super dialed in to the jumping or whatever.
Yeah, the hat mechanics. I can never do those hat jumps off the wall that people are able to scale the mountains and the snow area, I think. But it's insane. You have to perfectly time all of those. But yeah,
the 2D pipe areas in this game too are also such a creative way mixed into the game itself in such a fluid way. Whenever these pop up, they're always super fun to play. That's just basically the old Mario games just in the game. which is like super cool.
It's so incredible and like awesome how they made like the 2D surface, the 2D Mario area, like almost mesh with the 3D world. And like when the 3D world falls apart, you know, you also fall apart, like the 2D world falls apart, and that's just like whoa, you know? Like
Yeah.
that's it's just so creative and awesome to watch.
It's a really smart comedy. Really
Yeah.
smart level design.
Yeah.
Okay, although I'll tell you what. All right. Listen. Hear me out. All right. Yo. Game definitely, I think there are probably some parts of the game that weren't as bright shine in my eyes. I think during the original story mission, there are definitely some boss fights that are much more creative than the rabbit fights that end up happening a couple times, and they end up getting sort of rehashed towards the end of the game in like the final area where you sort of face them all again. And the final boss fight with like the rabbit wood device thing was fine, but I think definitely if there was more variety in the boss fights, like more in the course of the game and less like of the rabbit ones, I think that probably would have been a little bit more beneficial. But it's also just kind of like, you know, picking hairs or whatever.
Yeah, the difficulty of those fights weren't like they weren't super easy, but they weren't like hard at the same time. And I understand like they're trying to make it difficult to find the moons, so that's really where the difficulty lies in like exploration, which makes sense. But if you're gonna set the skill level to be super high for like these super technical, you know, players, like they're gonna easily just beat the boss in like 2 minutes, you know.
I think the game maybe would benefit from some sort of increased difficulty run through of the bosses again. I know in the Mushroom Kingdom you can redo some boss fights, but it's not particularly like different per se. It's just basically a boss fight arena. Yeah. Other than that, though, there's not really many complaints I really have with the game. All the fights with Bowser, I think, were very well done. From the mid-game fight on the Cloud Arena level to the final fight itself. The final end of the game is actually a really very fun, creative end to the game, I would say. Like, where you get to take over Bowser and just pound through walls and go through everything. That was a ton of fun to play and very cool when you think about, you know, the whole time and all the Mario games how you're always trying to fight Bowser and basically you fight him and beat him and then become him, which is I thought was pretty neat.
Yeah, during those Bowser fight scenes, I was thinking to myself, like, kind of this reference, maybe someone will get it. When he does the tail spin and you do a backflip and then like loses his balance and you like punch him and he hits the spikes on, I was thinking to myself like the Apollo Creed. Like that whole fight scene from Apollo Creed.
Yeah. Just wailing on him. To basically sum everything up, it's a masterpiece.
It was completely worth my time playing, and I mean I still have so much to do, which is just insane, you know.
That's something too. When you beat the game, you think, all right, that was like a worthwhile thing, and then there's actually like so much more. There are different like doors. There are different like moon things you can go once you beat the game. All the moon rocks are sort of scattered around. You can break them, and that makes more. There's a deceiving amount of content.
Yeah.
Post endgame, which I think is something really cool. They also in some worlds do have harder difficulty sort of movement traps, as I found out last night when I was trying to play. Some of those are just stupid difficult.
Yeah, the non-hat like areas.
Yeah. When you
they're on the dark side and you got to throw like your hat at the scarecrow and then like, oh, no hat for you.
Yep, it's something. Overall, if you had to rank the game on a scale 1 to 10, what do you think? Does it break the 10 and does it get to double digits in your mind?
Yeah, I think it gets the double, I would say. Double digits.
Yeah, I think I have to agree. It's a masterpiece. It's a 10 out of 10.
And I mean, it kind of makes sense that we would review a 10 out of 10 game.
Because we only do the best here at Bubbycast.
Yeah, and also, like, you know, it's our 10th
Exactly.
10th episode.
Exactly. That's what you call.
See, then you wrap it up. Then you see, you
and
make the connection. You make the connection, and there you go.
It's
ladies
a 10
and
out
gentlemen.
of 10. Folks, that's what you call selective content choice. That's the best you get. That's why you've stuck around for 10 episodes here at Bubbycast. That's what you're gonna get week in, week out, probably, unless we're more busy, but we probably won't be as much anymore. But anyways, 10 out of 10 Super Mario Galaxy.
For a 10 out of 10 podcast, ladies and gentlemen.
Super Mario Brothers 2. Check it out on Nintendo 64s or whatever. And that's pretty much it. And we're gonna wrap it up there. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, and smash that like button.